What if I told you that while we search the cosmos for alien life, the most horrifying organisms on Earth might already be among us, silently waiting in the shadows of our forests and jungles? These aren't creatures from distant planets, but plants that could make even the most terrifying science fiction seem tame. Deep in the rainforests of Southeast Asia grows a plant so sinister that local legends claim it can swallow a human whole. The Nepenthes raja, one of the largest carnivorous pitcher plants ever discovered, produces traps nearly 1.5 feet tall. These biological death chambers are filled with digestive enzymes so powerful they can dissolve flesh and bone. While documented cases of human consumption don't exist, scientists have found the remains of rats, birds, and even small primates inside these natural prisons. The plant's slippery rim and downward-pointing hairs ensure that once something falls in, escape is virtually impossible. But carnivorous plants are just the beginning of nature's horror show. In the coastal regions of Australia lurks something far more insidious. The Gympie-Gympie tree, known scientifically as Dendrochnide moroides, has been called the most painful plant on Earth. Its leaves are covered in tiny silica needles that inject a neurotoxin, so excruciating that horses have been known to leap off cliffs to escape the pain. Humans who have been stung describe the sensation as being burned by acid and electrocuted simultaneously. The terrifying part? The pain can last for months, even years, and there is no antidote. Even specimens stored in herbarium collections for over a century can still deliver their agonizing sting. Imagine walking through a seemingly peaceful garden and brushing against a plant that could kill you with a single touch. This is the reality of Abrus precatorius, commonly known as the rosary pea. Each beautiful red and black seed contains abrin, a toxin so deadly that just 3 micrograms can kill an adult human. To put that in perspective, that's less than the weight of a single grain of sand. This makes abrin one of the most poisonous substances known to science, more toxic than ricin, and nearly as deadly as botulinum. The seeds have been used throughout history as weapons, and even jewelry makers have died from accidental exposure while crafting beads from these lethal pearls. In the shadowy understory of tropical forests grows a plant that seems designed by nature's most twisted imagination. Dracunculus vulgaris, the voodoo lily, produces a flower that not only looks like rotting flesh but smells like it too. The massive burgundy spatha unfurls to reveal a temperature that can reach 15 degrees above ambient air, actively broadcasting the stench of death across hundreds of meters. This thermogenic reaction is so powerful that you can actually feel the heat radiating from the bloom. The plant does this to attract carrion flies and beetles for pollination, creating an elaborate deception that tricks insects into thinking they've found a corpse. But perhaps no plant embodies pure nightmare fuel quite like Hydnora africana. This South African parasite spends most of its life completely underground, invisible to the world above. When it finally emerges, it produces a fleshy, tooth-lined flower that looks like something that crawled out of the deepest ocean trench or an alien planet. The flower opens like a gaping maw, revealing a throat lined with what appear to be sharp teeth or tentacles. Like the voodoo lily, it emits the smell of feces to attract dung beetles and carrion beetles. The insects become temporarily trapped inside, forced to crawl through the flower's reproductive organs before being released, covered in pollen. Traveling to the tropical regions of Central and South America, we encounter a plant with an almost supernatural ability. Mimosa pudica, the sensitive plant, possesses the unsettling capacity to sense and respond to touch within milliseconds. When disturbed, its leaves fold inward and droop in a display that seems almost conscious, almost aware. While not dangerous, the plant's rapid movement challenges our fundamental assumptions about the line between plant and animal life. Recent research has revealed that these plants may even have a form of memory, learning to distinguish between real threats and harmless stimuli. The implications are profound and deeply unsettling. What else might plants be capable of that we simply haven't discovered yet? In the swamps of North and South Carolina grows a plant that has captivated and horrified botanists for centuries. The Venus flytrap, Dionea musciparia, is perhaps the most iconic carnivorous plant, and for good reason. Its traps snap shut in less than 1/10 of a second, making it one of the fastest moving plants in the entire kingdom. The trigger mechanism is so sophisticated that the trap requires 2 touches within 20 seconds to avoid wasting energy on false alarms like raindrops or debris. Once closed, the trap becomes a sealed chamber where digestive enzymes break down the struggling insect over the course of several days. If the prey continues to move, the trap seals even tighter, ensuring no escape. The plant then absorbs every nutrient, leaving behind only an empty exoskeleton. Deep in the forests of the Philippines and Borneo grows another carnivorous nightmare. Nepenthes attenboroughi was only discovered in 2007, found on a single mountain peak where scientists had to hack through dense jungle to reach it. This massive pitcher plant produces traps large enough to hold over a liter of digestive fluid. The pitchers are so large, and the fluid so acidic that they've been found containing the remains of rats that had fallen in and slowly dissolved. The plant was named after naturalist David Attenborough, though one has to wonder if he felt honored or disturbed by having such a terrifying organism bear his name. Manchineel tree, found throughout the Caribbean and parts of Florida, holds the sinister distinction of being listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most dangerous tree in the world. Every single part of this plant is toxic. Standing under it during rain can cause blistering as the water washes toxins from the leaves. Burning the wood produces smoke so toxic it can cause blindness. The fruit, which resembles a small green apple, is colloquially called the beach apple and is so poisonous that Spanish conquistadors used it to poison their arrow tips. Even the sap can cause severe dermatitis and temporary blindness. In areas where these trees grow, they're often marked with warning signs or painted red to alert unsuspecting tourists to the danger. The final entry in our botanical chamber of horrors takes us to the Mediterranean region, where the lovely Atropa belladonna has enchanted and killed for thousands of years. Known as deadly nightshade, this plant contains tropane alkaloids that cause hallucinations, seizures, and death. Throughout history, it has been used as a poison, a medicine, and even a cosmetic. Italian women in the Renaissance would put drops of the extract in their eyes to dilate their pupils, creating what was considered an attractive, doe-eyed appearance. This practice gave the plant its name, belladonna, meaning beautiful lady in Italian. But beauty comes at a terrible price. The berries are sweet-tasting, making them particularly dangerous to children who might mistake them for edible fruit. Just 10 to 20 berries can kill an adult human. These plants remind us that while we gaze up at the stars searching for extraterrestrial threats, some of Earth's most alien and terrifying life forms have been growing right beneath our feet all along. They challenge our understanding of what plants are capable of, blurring the lines between passive organisms and active predators. As we continue to explore the depths of our own planet's biodiversity, one has to wonder what other horrors are still waiting to be discovered, hidden in the unexplored corners of our world. The universe may be vast and full of mysteries, but perhaps the greatest mysteries and the greatest terrors are the ones growing in our own backyard.